I'm exhausted, guys. You have no idea. I just went through a whole like Nygaard thing. And I'm literally, I just want to like lay down. Just like, oh, no more, no more. Breaking news. I was like, 5 women have filed a lawsuit accusing ours Tim Ballard of sexual assault. And we just did a clip, right? Just. I'm like, I can't even keep up. One of my people here was telling me something on this thing, and I go, yeah, I don't know, this fucking Mel Gibson shit. Like, F that guy. He's a freaking wacko. He's been a wacko forever. And then, I don't know what happened. There was some weird conspiracy thing that spread around, and maybe it was through this guy. I have no idea. It was a weird story. And so I was like, I decided to look it up because they told me about this thing. And I'm like, I don't remember saying that. But apparently, like, there was a weird story that threw out there. And then, yeah. So Mel Gibson, yeah, had a picture with Nygaard too. Yes, correct. So I was like, oh, yeah, he didn't come out and tell anybody anything about that. But there was a whole bunch of people involved in that. Government, everybody, okay? So this one, the suit accuses this guy anti-trafficking, non-profit, grooming behavior, and sexual misconduct. Do I want to read this whole thing? Okay, so 5 women filed a lawsuit Monday against Tim. And the filing comes weeks after Vice News reported the allegations, right? Okay. So that included a rebuke by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Excuse his dog outside. It's a neighbor's dog, and it's a kind of a puppy, and he's a little annoyed right now. It's like, it may sound like it's inside here. There's nothing I could do, okay? Okay, so Ballard, for Tim Ballard's personal advantage and the activity regarded as morally unacceptable. Well, it's criminal. Besides, I mean, let's just like put this out here. The lawsuit filed in Utah's 3rd District Court alleges that Ballard would in some instances fly women who would be posing as his wife or partner from across the country to Utah because he wanted to hone their sexual chemistry for so-called couples ruse. So, and he had the thing with the Homeland and CIA, right? You know why this is just ridiculous? Because there's things in our stuff that I know, and then also I pulled up a Nygaard thing, and there's some things that they were talking about in there about all these people. And I was like, yes, that's the hot ticket in this whole thing, okay? So government here really is not against human trafficking and raping some women, okay? And they will cover up their bullshit because they're all involved, because this is the guy, okay? The women alleged Ballard would ask them to perform lap dances, because we're all strippers, right? That's why I said, I go, these parties, I go, F this. Where's the male strippers out here? All these guys, no, put them in a corner. They need to stay in their underwear and shut up. You know what I mean? Like, no, but you walked into these parties and it's like just this. That's how they treat all women. Are you going to dance for me? I'm going to give you some fucking money and you're going to dance for me. It's like, fuck you, asshole. But that's how they view women. This is your government. Because they're a bunch of frat house son of a bitches. Anybody that's saying anything about frat houses, they're a fucking white gang and they rape women. Period. That's what happened. That was the whole thing about him, mostly back in the day, yes. And they joined him for couples massages. I told you guys, beware of the massages. Don't let, if any guys ask you to give them a massage, that's a predator. Or vice versa, right? Ballard also frequent Salt Lake. Oh. I'm so exhausted. Ballard also would frequent Salt Lake Valley strip clubs, the lawsuit alleged, where he would pay for lap dances, drinks, alcohol, and take pills, all of which is paid for with our funds, right? Government's been doing that the whole time. You think that he's the only one? Hell no. See, because me and government had it out with this shit. Prior to them going after Backpage, their fake-ass crusade, I said, there's a conflict of interest here with your government son of a bitches coming into strip clubs and doing all this shit. Because you turn around and you take advantage of it and then you go do a raid, right? You do this shit, right? So there's a conflict of interest. You're abusing your power. So it's one of two things. You decriminalize your bullshit there. You can't target women, which is really what they should do. And if you abuse your power in that situation, you need to go to jail. Not turn around and call women prostitutes and try to fucking, get them onto the street, right? Because that's what's been going on, okay? So he's doing that because that's what was okayed by government. Government totally okayed this conduct. They said it's extracurricular activities outside their work, but technically they were doing it on the job, right? Okay, yeah. So through the suite allege Ballard coerced the women to engage in various sexual acts short of penetration, supposedly in order to maintain the appearance that they were a couple. Now, this is where government would typically go. They would hear this, right, and they go, "Well, it's great that nothing really happened to you, so let's move on." Totally. The suit also alleges that Ballard would encourage the women to get a Brazilian wax of their pubic hair. It is alleged Ballard would ask the women, "Is there anything you wouldn't do to save the children?" That's the worst part of this whole thing, because that is the lure to all women to jump in on this fake crusade of child human trafficking. Save the kids! I always made fun of this. And I'm the one that literally am a victim to a shitload of stuff, right? And I've witnessed this, right? And I know how they're running some of these rings, right? And so do the women, some of these women that have been coming out, right? About the big, the night guards, the Playboy, all that. They know what's going on, right? And it's these fools that are like, we got to save the kids and we need to actually target those women. Yeah. That's the political thing about this garbage, is they don't really want to save the kids. They want to get women submissive again so they can go rape them. I mean, that's really the bottom line of this whole thing. And so he also played on their faith, the suit allege. Aren't they all, right? Ladies, you want to save the kids? The LGBTQ is the pedos. Yeah, they're doing that, right? They're playing on the faith. The suit allege almost all the women accusing Ballard are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Ballard began to claim that the president, Russell Ballard, I just love it's Russell because we're talking about Russell as well in this whole thing, who is the acting president of the church's, the 12 apostles. He had given Ballard permission to do the couple's ruse as long as there's no sexual intercourse or kissing on the lips. Hey, at least somebody's against that thing, because apparently our presidents aren't, and they're all about raping the kid's face. Yeah. Okay, and had given him a special priesthood blessing as such. These guys are so ridiculous. Asked previously and specifically about the allegations that Tim had suggested that President Ballard, the two are not related, condoned his sexual activities, and the church referred to the earlier statement that Tim had made unauthorized use of President Ballard's name for Tim Ballard's personal advantage and activity regarding as morally unacceptable, right? The suit also alleges that Janet Rousson, a psychic, no, a psychic that was on her payroll, would tell the women that they had been married to Ballard in a previous life, so their conduct was acceptable. Okay, I had enough. This is what happened in the cult church, where they were saying, well, they were basically going, you're married in the eyes of the Lord. So then they don't even go to get a legit marriage thing, and then they would just rape the congregation. Yeah, This one's different, though. They got a psychic. Well, the psychic's supposed to be seen as Satanist, they're supposed to be seen as bad. Like you're going to get witchcraft. So how is this in the Mormon church? This is different. I don't know, but somehow they go hire a psychic. The woman filed the lawsuit under pseudonyms to protect their identities. Each provided lengthy statements detailing their alleged encounters with Ballard. 2 of the women said their marriages had broken up as a result of Ballard's actions. Well, fuck that guy anyway. You know what I mean? Technically, these men don't even want to stay with you. All these men are terrible. You guys need to do better. They're all rapists. Okay, so the Tribune has reached out to a spokesman for Ballard for comment, but has not immediately heard back. The women's lawsuits also claim Ballard would receive ketamine treatments and dictate prophecies where he would speak to Nephi, a prophet mentioned in the Book of Mormon. Okay, this is where it starts getting into places where I don't understand, right? Remember, because this happened in the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell thing. And would dictate prophecies of his future as a U.S. Senator, President of the United States, and ultimately a Latter-day Saint prophet, where he could usher in the second coming of Jesus Christ. Based on the reasonable belief and inquiry, the women's lawyers wrote in a complaint that upon learning of the couple's ruse and how Ballard used it, the Mormon Church excommunicated Ballard. The church has refused to comment on whether Ballard's membership has been withdrawn, which is how the religion now refers to excommunication. You're booted out of the cult, dude. Ballard resigned from R in June, telling the Tribune in July that his departure had been planned in advance so he could focus his energy on the other endeavors. However, R said in a statement that after complaints were made about his conduct, Ballard was put on administrative leave and an investigation was launched that led to his resignation, right? The lawsuit alleged that was purely for show, and the suit claimed Ballard received a generous severance package but had arranged with our directors to remain the face of R and continue to raise money. It's all a fraud, you guys. The suit alleges that Ballard would use his proximity to prominent friends and supporters like President Donald Trump, conservative talk show host Glenn Beck, and the Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes, and leaders in the LDS Church to build his reputation and bolster funding. How could you get funding through Glenn? Like, while our is a nonprofit, the lawsuit claims Ballard reaped $14 million for his profit entity. Are you effing kidding me? I've had it with these people in the public. They literally treat the actual victims like shit, and they go hand all these men, they're white men, right? Millions of dollars, dude. And they're all the rapists, right? Yes. Okay. Raise the suit claims prominent Ballard's work. And one day you guys are going to listen to us over here. One day, you still haven't got it yet. Participated in a rescue operation with the group, backed his potential U.S. Senate candidacy, and lent his reputation to Ballard, giving Ballard the cover of the top law enforcement officers in the state of Utah. They're a piece of shit over there anyway. We've seen all their conduct to carry out his purpose. Even while consumer complaints and criminal investigations were pouring into the office regarding impreparatory of R and Ballard, right? A spokesman for Reyes said the office never received any consumer complaints. The Davis County attorney provided the Attorney General's office with evidence from a criminal investigation into R that Davis County and the FBI have been conducting, but documents obtained through an open records request show that as of December 2020, Reyes and his chief of staff were walled off from having information on the investigation or discussing it with anyone in the office. The investigation was closed in 22 with no charges filed. FBI's a bunch of rapists, though, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. And I told you, their definition of human trafficking is not proper. Like, it's limited because they don't want to include themselves as being okay, so, all right. So, as an open record request to Utah Department of Consumer Protection last month did not yield any consumer complaints about our practices, right? Ballard founded R in 2013, leaving the Department of Homeland Security. It would be hilarious as the same guy. No, okay, wait. He's leaving the Department of Homeland Security because he said he felt he could rescue more children outside of government. He made a splash in the news media promoting our undercover rescue operations in places like Colombia, Haiti, and videos on the organization's website and in documentary films. Oh no, here we go. Okay, its prominent supporters over the years have included Beck, okay, who is ridiculous. Self-help guru Tony Robbins. Okay, he has allegations, right? And Reyes, I don't know about him, but probably they all. According to tax filings, the organization's first year it raised less than $1 million. But that quickly grew to nearly $7 million by 2016 and shot up to $47 million in 2020 before falling off the last 2 years. Now, this is important to me because I actually was doing investigations into these men, not these specific ones right here, but into these men for misconduct, right? There's a conflict of interest we see that the actual human traffickers in government needed to protect their ring, right? These are all rapists. Every single one of them. Tony Robbins, big time, had a long list of bad conduct. Glenn Beck has bad conduct as well. I don't know about rape or anything, but he definitely has bad conduct and being a pathological liar. And then, and trashing women. I don't know race. But the thing with that Homeland thing, I was bringing up some information because I don't know the relation with said person, but like I said, it was this conduct that I was like, I think they might question me about it, and but it was not something that would deter me from doing the investigations that I need to be done, right? But I knew that I had a feeling that government was just gonna play it off anyway, like we're allowed to do all that, okay? And so yeah, and as you see, they were technically, and I would be the bad one, right? So they were doing this because they were doing that big, like I said, the what's important here is that hit job on Backpage, okay? So there was a massive coordinated attack by government that was being plotted out, and it could have been plotted out for quite a few years. Like I said, there was some questioning things that were going as far back as maybe 2010 or so. Yeah, they had a targeted attack and to try to present it as human trafficking. So government here was trying to mute me off and trying to kill me technically, because what the fuck? And I was supposed to get these investigations done by all these different, these people, right? And then they're off doing this. So don't think that they're in, yeah, you see how they blew it off, right? Yeah. So they see this conduct as being fine. They do. They've argued with me for it, and they want to say that getting children was fine. That's what they're arguing with me for. And they were laughing at child rape. So there was different departments and agencies that were laughing at child rape. They were covering up the Bill Cosby thing. They said it would be a joke if he's not going to get arrested. We have a lot of things going on here, you guys. They were all in it together. They're all in it together to try to target women. That's what it is. Immoral women. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking to save the children. Nobody wants to save the kids. They want to rape the kids. They want to get them really young so they can marry them off. Okay, so here's the thing here. Ballard achieved his own level of stardom. So now it's really about him, right? Because these white men, that's all it is. It's about themselves. It's not about us. Okay, testified before Congress, being invited to the White House by President Trump, that rapist, right? That other rapist. And being the subject of Sound of Freedom, a movie based loosely of his work through our. So now he wants a movie. Anybody that's sitting there going, I want a movie, not a documentary. So if you do a documentary, it better be like the Russell Brand type of documentary, that thing. These people literally want to do this ego to feed that narcissist ego of theirs that it's all about them, right? Not about the victims, but it's about them. And he's allegedly not the victim, right? So he wants a movie about himself as being a hero. What a fucking loser, right? The movie to date has grossed $217 million. And it's fake. I can't help this planet. I fucking hate it. More than the latest Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible installments. These people are sitting there going, oh, big state is fucking muting it down. They're not letting the information get out. How do you make $217 million? That's more than fucking Rockstar. That movie was a pile of crap, you guys. This thing made $217 million and it's a pile of crap. Okay. Ballard has been considering a bid for the U.S. Senate seat for Utah, now held by Senate Mitt Romney, before the allegations against him became public. And since that, Mitt's been a joke the whole time. So since then, several high-profile supporters have distanced themselves from Ballard, including Reyes and Beck. And early are supporters who criticize the LDS Church on social media of effectively excommunicating Ballard without due process. Oh, here we go, that due process. Shut up. Beck later deleted the post. That's right, you little, you know what, Beck. I'm going to bring back that little fucking diaper gate on you. Okay, R says it helped to rescue 65,000 children from being sex trafficked since it was founded. But in interviews conducted as part of the fraud investigation by FBI and Davis County's Attorney's Office, former high-level employees said they could never verify the numbers and that the organization had stopped doing rescue missions and mainly was a pass-through to law enforcement organizations and other nonprofits. In response, which means that nothing got done after that because they're all rapists over there. In response, R said it on average still conducts several rescue missions a week. Did you rescue these girls from fucking Tim Ballard?